welcome back to my channel. This is the Ebony Way. If you are new, make sure you hit that subscribe and like button if you like what I have to talk about. If you're not, welcome back. So today I am going to go over our transition. I've been saying, I believe in a few other videos a while back, that I was going to break all this down and go over it. So I'm finally doing that. If you notice my energy level is a little low today, it's because it's just been a long day. But I committed to you guys that I was going to stay on track with these vlogs, so I am going to do it come hell or high water. So welcome back to the channel and let's get started. I'm going to share with you our transition from the US to Tanzania. And I know I mentioned before that it was, it was no joke. It was a lot. Anytime you move an entire family from one country to another, there's a lot of moving pieces and a lot of things that are involved, even though we did it in stages. I have to say I'm pretty proud of the way that we did it. It was, I would say, as smooth and as stressful as any move could be. We took our time. We mapped everything out. We knew kind of what we need to do and when we needed to do it. We planned things around the kids' school schedule so that they wouldn't miss out on any of their academics, and so that they would have a lot of stability. Our goal was 1, a smooth transition, 2, stability for the children, 3, just to kind of roll with the punches if things did come up, and 4, to be very, very well prepared. And that included emotionally, mentally, physically, financially. We wanted to make sure that we kind of dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's. One thing I will say that really helps us is that we're world travelers. When you travel a lot, you kind of learn what works for your family and what doesn't, and you learn how much you can take, when you need breaks, the differences. As I mentioned before, although Tanzania is not my birthplace, is not necessarily foreign to me. I know a lot about the country, its people, its culture, its history. So that part of it, as far as knowledge, was very helpful, but nothing prepares you for living in a country that is not your native country. So step 1, and you'll see some clips in here, was packing up our home. And that was a big undertaking. So when I say I did it in stages, one thing we did was, the first thing was deciding what we were going to take with us and what we weren't going to take with us. So we made a decision that we were not going to come with more than 1 container. So everything that we were going to take had to fit in 1 container. So we did not bring our vehicles. 1, because they drive on the opposite side of the road here, and the steering wheel is on the opposite side. So it just didn't make sense to try to bring the same vehicles here that really weren't conducive for not only the country but the infrastructure. The roads here are what we call an African massage. I call them roller coasters when we first came, but now my kids call it an African massage. So the cars aren't really built for these roads. You have to buy cars that are built for the country. So it was better to get vehicles here. So that eliminated a large part of having a second container. The other thing was furniture. We had to make a decision about what furniture we really were going to keep. Most we got rid of because it's easy to find places to buy furniture here, so I wasn't worried about that. We just kept sentimental pieces that I wanted to keep in our family, and that once we had our own home, we could have pieces that make us feel like we're at home, that we weren't going to get rid of. The other thing was the kids' toys and books and games, and I will say we kept the majority of that stuff. A lot of it, all their stuffed animals, a lot of their toys. We did take away any toys that were like heavily damaged or broken, but most of their, I would say 90% of their belongings we kept. The main reason we did that is because we knew once we got here and we were set up in our home, we wanted it to feel like home for the children. And part of that was them having a lot of the belongings that they were used to, that they loved, that they grew up with. So once the container arrived, which they were elated about, they were able to unpack everything, and it was like it was Christmas all over again, because they saw all their old stuff in their new environment. So that it felt like they had a piece of home with them. The containers took longer than we expected. I believe, and I might be wrong, we thought the containers would be here in like a month, and it took about 2 months instead. But the process went really well. I liked the company and the guy that we used. He is also Tanzanian. He knows what he's doing, so that worked out well. Of course, we do our research. We've shipped things internationally before, so we knew what to do when it came to that. The process of settling, from the U.S., there was stages, like I said. We first moved out of our home. Was the first thing. We sold our home. Housing. We had an Airbnb, which we were in for about a month because the kids had about a month left of school. We wanted to time it so that we transitioned from the U.S. to Tanzania during the Christmas holiday break. The holidays don't always align between Tanzania and the U.S., but there's a couple that do, and Christmas is one of them. So that was our opportunity to not only settle, but get them started in a new school, and a new environment over a break. So we left the day after Thanksgiving. We had Thanksgiving with friends and family. Friends, sorry, not the family part, but friends. It was wonderful. It was lovely. Shout out to the Rayburns. We really felt the love, and we miss all of them quite a bit, but it was nice to be surrounded with so much love on Thanksgiving Day. Happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving!
Yes, we're on our way to Thanksgiving dinner with some friends, so we can talk to you guys while we're on our way there, or even once we get there. But we wanted to say Happy Thanksgiving. You guys want to say it?
Happy Thanksgiving! Love you!
Love you! And then we flew out Thanksgiving morning, early in the morning the next morning. We stopped in Dubai. So I'll show you a video. We'll upload a video dedicated to Dubai. It was a lot of fun. It was like a little mini vacation. And those of you that follow us know that oftentimes when we travel to different countries, if there's a layover in one country, we'll extend it so that we have time to see that country. So Dubai was one of those. Dubai was our layover before we landed in Tanzania, so we stayed there for 4 days and we got to explore Dubai, and it was a really nice break. It also was an opportunity for us to adjust to the time zone. because there's an 8 or 9 hour time difference depending on where you are in the U.S. between the U.S. and Tanzania, so you get jet lag. So that gave us a chance to just kind of adjust to being on this part of the world or this side of the world and have a from Dubai, we landed in Tanzania in December, and that gave us about 3 weeks to not only move in, get settled, get whatever things we needed that we didn't have, and then also get the kids ready for the next phase, which was starting school and getting used to a new system. My husband's family did a great job at helping to prepare our home for us before we landed. We had the essentials like sheets and broom and pots and pans and dishes and a refrigerator, so they did a really good job helping us. We didn't have to get like major items once we first got here, because that can be a lot. So once we got here, then we just focused on getting settled and unpacking. So I'm going to stop there because I want you guys to see some of the video of the process of moving. One thing that was fun that I did was an estate sale. So I did an estate sale of a lot of the things that we couldn't give away or that were, of value. My home in the U.S. was one thing that I spent a lot of time putting together, and I loved, and it was beautiful. But we, had always decided many years ago that we wanted to live one chapter of our life in Tanzania. So we are doing that now. And this has been something we've been talking about for at least 3 or 4 years. It was just a matter of when the timing was right. So I'll share with you the estate sale as well that I did. And I think you'll get a kick out of the sign I had for that. And that went really well. I was really proud of myself. It was a lot of work, but it went well. One thing that most people did not know that was a big stress and challenge, when I say we just try to roll with the punches that we were not expecting, was my husband got, how do I say it? You guys have to give me like a keyword or something. The pandemic bug. With the C word. I don't think I can say it on YouTube. I don't know. I've seen other YouTubers act like they can't say it, but I'm not sure if that's like a thing or not. So I'll just say the C word, the pandemic bug. But needless to say, and actually we all got it. And that kind of knocked us out for the count for a good week. But he had it the worst, and he ended up getting pneumonia. And was really sick. Gave me a scare. I was very worried, and it was during this process of packing up the house, getting things ready. Typically that's a time that I depend on him a lot, and let me give you an example of what happened. one day that I was like, okay, I'm just gonna die. I had the pandemic bug, the C word, as well at the same time that he did, but it overlapped by a few days. So he got it after me, and I was on the road to recovery, but for whatever reason I didn't get it as bad as he did. But we were in the process of getting everything together. So I would have people that wanted to come by and look at items that they want to purchase, and I would have to like help take care of him. And then we had 2 of our 3 children also were sick. I was sick myself, and then I was trying to pack up all the stuff as well. So it was just mayhem. It was a lot. But we got through it. It lasted like 3 or 4 days. But with him especially, he towards the end was just really, really not good, doing good. We had to get him like IV drips, all kinds of stuff. We were able to thankfully avoid hospitalization, but he was like this close to it. At one point, the doctor was actually recommending he had like 2 or 3 more days to get better, and if he didn't, the doctor was going to put him on they call it extended care for the bug, because he wasn't his pneumonia was just lasting for a very long time. So by the grace of God, we got through it. He started getting on the mend, and then we had to transition out of our house into our temporary housing. So it was like boom, boom, boom. But we had everything pretty real well planned out, and I feel like the kids didn't really miss a beat. We had our last like goodbye get together with all their friends at a place called I always lose my train of thought on this place. It's like blank, but I'll put it in there. It's like one of those Ken Zone bouncy go-kart places that they went to. So we had like a last hurrah for that. We did a lot of last activities with their friends so that they could enjoy their time with their friends and enjoy their time in the U.S. before we headed out to our next adventure, which is where we are now, which is Tanzania. We have been here a year now, so this vlog has been kind of a year in the making. But once we landed, as I said before, there was just like so many things that I had to focus on and put in place. One of those being, my business. There was a lot of hiccups and challenges with my business that was unexpected. So we had to kind of start over, but it's going very well now. But that's taking some time, so I had to really focus on that. And now I'm refocusing on inviting you guys back in and being a part of this journey. So enjoy this part of it. In the next vlog, I'm going to upload about our time in Dubai. And then the one after that, I'm going to talk about the difference in lifestyle from the US to Tanzania. And then the one after that, we're going to talk about safaris. So I got a lot in store for you guys. So stay tuned. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. If you like these vlogs, if you like what I have to talk about, if you're interested in our crazy, bicultural, dual country, expat, whatever you want to call it life, welcome. All right, see you guys next time.